picture looks so much better than the first time. I'm just cutting out pattern to make my jacket. See if I can fit two on here. No. I feel like that's going to be wasting a lot of fabric. So I'll go ahead and oh, I forgot my background music. Right, let's get some of that. Hopefully this won't be a 3-hour live. See if this piece works. On 45, 14. All right. Let's get some. Ah. Oh, I'm so distraught over these scissors. I dropped them, they're dolls, so now I ordered a new pair. I'm always trying to save something for special occasions. extra here on the side. I'm gonna draw this in. Just realized something. This is not what I wanted to do. I forgot. Not what I wanted to do. I will save this. But that's not what I wanted to do. I need to add seam allowance. All right. Let's do this proper. I'm going to do this the long way. Ooh. Did I do that line? I did that one already. Now I have to add, I'm adding 1/2 inch seam allowance. Alright. Gosh. Now I can cut. What was I thinking before? Music is horrible. What we got? Let's try that.
With irresistibly smooth melting chocolate in every Lindor, you can melt into every holiday moment. This year, bring out Lindor from the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
I cannot cut to save my life. God. Let me transfer my darts to the other side. Okay. Now that's horrible too. Let me turn it down some. Oh, I'm not even in camera. So I'm marking my darts. I gotta redraw the lines because I did not do a good job. Oh no! I think this is a different color. Yeah. So here is the back jacket lining on my jacket. Now I gotta do the front. And I'm practically just gonna waste this fabric. Over there. Okay, now we'll cut the front piece out. See how this self-drafting project goes. Big pieces of fabric. I'm not confident that that's going to turn out right, so I'm going to just cut it like I have a piece to work with. Now I have a workable piece of fabric. Let me go ahead and stretch this out. I don't think I did this for the first piece. Oh, okay. See if that's wide enough. If that's wide enough. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to go 17. Well, 18 and 4.5. 18 and not 4.5. 18. There we go. I'm hoping that I added seam allowance when I cut out the outside of the jacket. Lord, I hope I did. I'm just going to draw in the seam allowance. If that's not working, I'll just do it proper. Now I have to, where's all my pins? Mark my darts. Get rid of mine, and then I'm gonna just lift it here, mark on here, and then this side. Take that out. Mark Alright, now I'll add the 1/2 inch seam allowance. That was not good. There we go. And we're going around the lapel. And then around the front. Do the sleeve. Okay. Draw these starts and then we'll be ready to sew. Oh my gosh, I cannot cut straight. Ugh. Try. These scissors. Alright, almost there, getting there, getting there. Alright, now we're going down around the front of the neck. I got this in a nice curve. Give up on those scissors that need to be fixed. Now we're going down the front of the lapel. Cutting like butter. Ooh. Cutting like butter, and I still can't cut straight. All right. Let me draw the dart in on the back side. I'm missing one spot right here. Now I shall draw my dart lines in and be ready to sew. There we go. All right. We have the front. I have the front, and I have the back for the lining in the front and the back lining for the jacket. So now I will go over to the tape. Woo! Let's take a jacket. Got a pin up here. Okay. This is jacket. Here's the outside of the jacket. There's the front. The darts are already pinned. And then this is the back. So this is going to be the outside of the line, outside of the jacket. And this is going to be nice pop of color for the lining. So now I'll take this over to the machine so we can get to sewing. And so I will need to unhook. Close your eyes. I don't want to get you dizzy. I have to unhook. All right. So now I gotta turn this around. Oh, sorry. At the table, the sewing table. Nice and tight. Okay. So I'm plugging this in. Let me turn down my music. Okay. Okay. So here I am. Supposed to be cleaning these machines, but I wanted to sew while I can before Friday gets here. Get this threaded. Ooh. Okay. Let me make sure I am in view. And all right. So I have here this. Take these pins out here. This is where all my pins disappeared too. So I cut this extra seam allowance because again, this is a self-drafted pattern, and I want to make sure that that I have enough room. So that is the front. That's a side dart right here. So now I'm going to do this fisheye dart here. Well, somewhat of waist dart, not a fisheye dart. On the wrong side. I'm going to start here. Mark my stitch. All right. I gotta go all the way down to here. Right on the edge. And I'll tie that off. Alright, and now I will sew the top of the dart. Get this thread out. Alright. Oh, where are we? Right here. And now we're going to take this pin out. And I am sewing to right here. All the way to the end. Let's tie this side off. 1, 2, and 3. There. And the front piece is sewn. Looking good. Next piece, to the other front. Take out all these pins. See if I'm ready for this journey of self-drafting my patterns. Okay, so I'm gonna start my darts. Oh, no, you didn't. Let's see what we did. Nope. So I have found with the sewing machines, sometimes and I've experimented with this in my sewing classes, whenever I hear something that sounds like there's going to be like a bird's nest or something's going to get jammed, I find that if you kind of like stop it right at that point and walk the stitch, that it, you know, there's maybe half the time it clears up on itself, and it just cleared up just now. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. Depends, I guess. So I'm actually going to sew this with one stitch. So I start there on the point, kind of like how I like to sew my darts. I like to actually sew them from the point to the opening. I just feel like I get better darts that way. Because instead of trying to end up with the needle on the fold, I start with the needle on the fold. I think I saw someone do that a couple years ago, and I did it and just stuck with me. So now I'm trying to end on this fold. There we go. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes not. So I am sewing and streaming live from the Rochester, New York area, and it is cold outside. I think it was like 30 something. It was cold. I was out there Had to go to an appointment. It was cold. All right. So here's here's the front. So here is one side. Please, Lord, that I sew them together. Yes. There we go. Opposite sides. So that's the front. I'll put that on the pressing table. And now I'm going to the back. So I will take these apart. All right, so here's the back. So the back has a shoulder dart, and it has a waist dart. So I'm going to put this on my edge right here. Sew to the edge and back stitch there. Oh my goodness, I wish my I'm going to see if I can try to fix my thread cutter. So in the pants class that I'm doing, one of the young ladies, she has a really nice I think it's a Husqvarna, and another person is using my student machines. And so the student with my machines, you know, she has a pile, you know, I give them trays to put their thread in, and then I walk around to empty them. And I was like, why? So I said to the other young lady, I said, where's all your thread? Like when you're from your sewing, your cut thread. And she was like, I don't know. She said, am I supposed to have some? And then I realized that her machine was cutting the thread, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how nice that was. I've been without it for so long. I don't know how I broke my thread cutter, but I know that if I try to use it, that I just get a jam. How the heck did I put these pins in here? Oh my Lord. If I try to cut my thread, it's gonna jam. And then I gotta pry the thread out of the fabric. Let's take these off, and then I have to sew to right here. Sew to right here. On the end. There. Woo. Tired. Yes, but I was like, wow, I was able to like actually see, you know, how much thread is wasted when you have to cut it with scissors. And it was a lot. Okay, so here is the back piece. Shoulder dart, waist dart. So I'll put this on the side and remove all of my pins over here. And here is the other back piece. So I pre-washed this fabric and I pressed it. Oh, I gotta do the regular dart this way. And then last time I made something with Ankara, it was, you know, it was like, man, I wish the fabric was just a little bit softer. And come to find out that I think I read that it will soften out during wear, or that maybe I can iron it to the point where it softens. I don't know, but I'm going to try that. And I didn't know if I should do the ironing before I cut it, or if I can do it while it's sewn together. I have no idea how this is going to work out. Got all this extra thread. Sometimes the basting thread can get a little ornery. All right, so now we're going to start on the fold. Right there. And straight. So up here here in Western New York, freezing outside. You know, and then when you're in meetings with your teammates who are like in the warmer states like Florida, and just, I'm like, y'all don't even know how cold I am over here. Y'all could go outside for lunch and have some, warm. It's cold up here. It's cold. All right, I got my stitch stuck in here. I'm tired. Get rid of this basting thread a little bit. It's in my way. There we go. Oh, I think I cut it. Did I? No. I think I cut it too short. Too short. Yes. Okay, and that is the other side of the back. So now here's one side of the back, and here's the other side of the back. I'll make sure I got the outside, right sides facing. Move my pins, and I'm going to sew the back together. I was going to do a French seam, but since I have lining, I'm going to keep it open. And 1/2 inch right here. All right. Let's get this sewn together. Yeah, one of my students bought a huge spool of thread. Like, I'm looking at my thread wall, and I don't have any spools of thread that was gigantic. But the problem we ran into is that while she was sewing, as soon as she stopped, the thread spool was so big that a couple inches of thread came off the thread spool. And then when she would go to, stitching again, it would, she didn't have the proper tension, and so it got stuck. I forgot that I did not cut this edge off. I might have to deepen the seam. Let me look. Yeah, let me take a look at that. Yeah. So let me stop that stitch right here. Let me go out, go back up there again. I'm just going to bring that stitch and start from right here. Unlock the stitch, and I'm going to bring that in just a smidgen. Just a smidgen. Take a look at that. But that's fine. You don't even see it right here. Perfecto. Let's take these basting stitches out. Wherever they are. Let's go up to the shoulders. Drop that over there. And if I don't see the stitches coming out, I'm gonna leave them right in there. So I don't know if you can see, there's a lot of basting thread here. Ooh. Still a couple. I didn't tie this. I didn't tie this shoulder dart. Alright, let me look at this. Cut this basting thread out. And that one's cut. And let's look at the actual darts here. Basting thread. Pull that out. I see basting thread up here. Pull that out. And over here, cut those stitches. La, 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 la. Mm-hmm. 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 There we go. So whoever's watching, if you can tell me where you're watching from. See if you're in my area. Western New York. Are you Buffalo, to the west of me, or to the east of me, in Syracuse, in the same state? Oh, let's tie this again. Ooh. Two knots was not enough. Okay. So now, let me tie this again. I am going to, before I go to the pressing table, I'm going to go ahead and sew the darts together. Not the darts. What am I talking about? The show. Nope, I can't show the shoulder together because I have to press these darts. And I have to press this open. And then, okay, so I'm going over to the pressing table. But before I take the camera, let me clean up my table. It's a whole hot mess over here. I got my pattern. I have my pattern over here and it's crazy. Alright, let me put my pattern on the shelf. Oh. Okay. Cleaned up some room. Yay! Okay. Okay, here we go. Pressing table. I hope the lighting is good. Looks good on my phone. We'll see whenever oh my gosh, my iron's not even plugged in. I do not like waiting for my iron to heat up. So I will put away my steam press. I'm cooled off. We got some heat almost there. Why is this always in my way? So I got my 3 pieces here. press and set my stitches. Almost there. Press my dart. Press the shoulder dart. Very good. Let's go ahead and press this dart. Smooth everything out. Very good. Right now we're heating up. Let's get all that water out the way. Dang it. From the inside, press my dart. There's a shoulder dart. I'm pressing to the center. Press this dart to the center. And I have my press basting stitches. Where's my scissors? Marvelous. Press this one. Steam. Marvelous. Right. Let me press this back seam. I was going to put a vent in it, but I'm pushing my luck already with just drafting the pattern by hand. Oh, the Heavens is home. And I'm streaming. Oh, it's soft. This is a soft area compared to down here. Okay. All right, let's do this back. Press this open. Open up. All right, now I have to press the back darts. Let's get these darts. Press the darts to the center. Make sure everything is flat. Marvelous. Let's do the bottom. I don't know if banging does anything. There. That looks good. I don't know if you can see the difference. Pressed, not pressed. Bring the dart to the center. Do up here, making sure this is nice and flat. Because I think what they call these clappers, right? Clappers. I don't make mine clap. All right, and do 2 more presses for this dart. I think that's right. Inside's looking marvelous. Outside, push that to the side, and now I will do the front pieces. Got lots of thread tails here. I'm only going to take them off like I see them in the front. There we go. Thread. Come on, there we go. Pull the thread out. Either it'll pull out or it'll snap. I used to base stitch with like regular thread, and I cut my hand one time trying to pull the thread out because I thought it was going to break, but it didn't break. So I cut my hand, and I was like, I won't do that again. But with basting thread, it will, if it doesn't come out, it'll snap. That's why I love it. I love it. I use it for every project. Got stitches up here I gotta get out. These have to come out because they're on the outside of my stitch. Still see it. Just got little stragglers in there. I'll get my tweezers. Where are they? Pull out that thread there. Alright, I think that's it. Marvelous. Stitch. There we go. And the bust dart. The side dart. Set the stitches. I'm gonna press the dart down. On the outside. No shine, no shine. All right, pressing the darts to the outside. Okay. I'm rolling. Slide it down. It's real loose right here. Hope I don't mess this up. It will definitely be a learning experience. Then I'll know. Steam it before you cut it. Hope that's not the case. Okay, let's lay that. So you got that shaping right there. That's what that dart does. Bust down to the front. Lapel. Oh, wait. I need to cut something different. I don't want that yellow lining on the inside. I'm going to have to cut a facing. And that I know how to do. All right. I got to take these stitches out. Basting stitches. It is so good to get back to like sewing for me. There was some, all the sewing has been for me, but I haven't made an actual, haven't made a dress. It's been a long time. I did do some stuff over the summer, but those are summer dresses. I haven't made like a really nice dress to wear to work. And I miss doing this. But I have one more class, and then I don't count my private lessons because I'll be home, but I gotta go out one more class next week, and then no more classes for January. So happy. No, I'm happy and sad. Sad that I'm not teaching, but happy that I'm home. And do some binge watching. I'm watching Witcher. Trolls 2 came out. The first one wasn't a good movie, but I enjoyed watching it. So, I mean, it was enjoyable to me. But I'm sure people be like, that was a horrible movie. For example, like I have a friend who's like hates the movie Bright, that Will Smith movie when he was a police officer and his partner was an ogre or a troll or whatever. And I done watched that movie 3 times. And she's like, I'm trying to figure out how to get I want that time back. Watching that movie, the time that it took me to watch that movie, I want it all back. And we're also on different sides of Earth to Earth. Oh, it's the other Will Smith movie with him and his son. I liked it. I watched it a couple times. I mean, it's not intriguing, but it's oh no, I found it satisfying. I got to add that shape. Awesome. All right, there you go. There's that shaping. Okay. All right, so now what has to happen is that here is the back. Right sides together, people. Right sides together. Say that. Don't believe how many. I say that a lot in my classes. Right sides together, all the time. And that's why I'm doing it now. Because as soon as I go to sew something, I'm like, right sides together. Okay, that's it. So this is right side. Oh Lord. Wait a minute. Okay. Ooh. Thought I thought I made a big mistake. So now I'm going to sew the shoulders together and then the sides together and press those open and hope it cut everything proper. So I'm going back to the cutting table. Oh, we're at an hour. Let me go ahead and get this to a point. All right, back to the table. I'm going to go ahead and drop the camera down just a little bit. There we go. So I'm just confirming that I have right sides facing, and I do. Red tails to the back. Match up my shoulder from one end to the other. Amen. 1/2 inch seam allowance. I hope. I can't remember if I cut seam allowance in my jacket. I hope I did. If not, somebody's gonna wear the jacket. All right, that shoulder is done. Now I'm going to do this shoulder. And let's go ahead and sew up my side seam. Now I'm not going to do the side seam because I put a whole inch seam allowance in the side, and I think I need to pin it if anything, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go back to the table, press this out, put this on the dress form, and pin it out, and then that will be, I'll call it a night. So I'm back to the pressing table. Yes, to see all of my sewing room, my sewing studio in all of its humble glory. All right. Uh-oh. All right. Shoulder seam. And then I'm going to press that shoulder open. I'm going to iron it a little bit, see if that like softens up this fabric some. Oh, oh, maybe the Google was right. All right, I'm going to press my seam open. Okay. Okay. And the other shoulder seam. Press that. And press that. That. Okay, now press that open. Here we go. Okay, so let me go, and I'm gonna have to pin this out, and then okay. So we'll walk over here to the ooh, yes, through the house we go, from one side of the sewing room. This is crazy, I know. Well, I need a camera person because I'm trying to sew and move the camera and position the camera. Got dresses hanging up on the wall. All of those things. Just want to make sure y'all have some good lighting. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Is that good? Is the light? I'm trying to get the lighting. How's that? Is she in here? Just looks so dark over there. But okay. What do you say? What do you think? Is she beautiful? Is she beautiful or is she gorgeous? All right, so the dress form is padded out as I am. So I'm going to play around with the seam allowance. And I think I'll do it wrong side out. So here we are on the side. And I just want to make sure that this seam is right down the back. And I'm going to put a pin there so it doesn't move. And then in the front, put a pin there. And we'll see how much, because I put like, I think I put like an inch extra in here, and I was supposed to mark the stitching line, and I completely forgot. I mean, I guess I could go back in and draw it in, but I'm here right now. I'm pretty much winging, trying to wing this right now. Because I wanted to make sure that this I wanted to make sure that it came to a because the pattern didn't have the lapel on it, so I really wanted a lapel. And then my next one, I want to be able to do the lapel and the collar. I don't know what that's called, but that's what I want. All right, so now I'm on the other side. Come on, girls. Let me pin this. All right. And I'm pretty much eyeing the seam allowance. But before I sew it up, I'll definitely make sure that it's consistent all the way down, because it might not be an inch from top to bottom, so I want to be able to play with it, because I really want it to be loose in some areas and tight in other areas. And I want to make sure that it has it shows its shape. I don't have a belt on, nor do I have a girdle, and I want to be able to see myself, so I'm going to turn the camera around. Okay, so I can see myself. Man, I am moving this camera around a lot. It's crazy. Okay. Woo! All right, so here she is. I'm gonna move her over to the side, and we'll take the pins off the boobs and off the back. And I'm going to use the camera as my mirror. I don't want to pop my pins. Woo! Ouch! I got pinched. Okay. All right. All right. So, I'm getting some closure right here. I want a little bit more, but I want to make sure that I keep my shaping. So at the bottom, I'm looking, I want this to overlap just a little bit more, because once I sew the lining to the front or the facing, this is going to come back some. So I'm going to open it up some on the side. Up here around the bust, I'm going to go a little bit smaller seam allowance, bigger jacket. So put her back on, and I'm going to slide my pins. I'm going to put this pin down because it kind of got me. All right, so now I'm moving to a 1/2 inch. Move this to a 1/2 inch, and this to a 1/2 inch. Okay. Pin this down to a 1/2 inch. Slide her over. Oh, it got me. Oh, there we look at that. That feels better. Now, before I do the lining, I need to make, so what I did is I cut the lining out to look just like this. So now the lapel is also yellow. When I wear this, I do not want to see yellow right here, right? So what I have to do is I have to make a facing in this fabric that goes all the way around. So I think I'm going to go, probably go in this much, so it'll be the whole lapel. So it'll be the whole lapel and probably maybe three or 4 inches to the inside. So when I open it up, there'll be the Ankara fabric from like here to here, and then everything else will be yellow. So yeah, so I think I like the seam allowance that I have. So let me get the back view. I don't want to ride. It's going to be riding on my, because I got pants. I got jeans on. But I'm happy with how this is turning out. Just wait till I do the sleeves. That's gonna be crazy. If I can't do the sleeves, this is gonna be a vest. It's gonna be a vest for real. Okay. So I'm gonna put this up here, and then, wow. What do you think? Thank you for watching, and until next time, loves. Bye. I can remember how to stop this now. Here we go.